You're an artist, not a full-time content creator. So if you clicked on this video, it's probably because you feel like your content creation is taking up your studio time. It's no secret that if you want to get your art out there and seen by as many people as possible, you want to be implementing content creation. But a lot of artists run into the trap where the content creation starts getting in the way of their actual art practice, and they start putting too much focus on making the content and less focus on making their actual art, and that can be very hurtful to your practice. If you're new here, I'm Pazzi and I'm an artist, and I have a fully functioning art practice, and I'm extremely active on social media, and my social media strategy does not get in the way of my art practice whatsoever. But before I had that super awesome balance between my art practice and my content creation was literally consuming me. And my art suffered because of it, because I was spending way too much time trying to make these videos, trying to come up with ideas, trying to post things on a whim, and I was not making art nearly as much as I wanted to. Thankfully, I did some research, I figured out what my problems were, and I built a structure that actually lasts, and now I'm making art way more than I'm making content, but I still post on social media every single day. So if I can do it, you can do it too. So let's just get started with addressing these problems, because I know you're probably running into these problems. You probably have no idea what to post, do you? I get it. Coming up with ideas for your content and making videos and stuff can be super daunting, and you're just sitting there literally scrolling and you have no idea what to post. It feels like such an overcomplicated thing. And you're probably looking at all these other creators on social media wondering, how are they doing this? How are they coming up with all these ideas? And you're probably sitting there thinking, I don't have anything unique to share. I don't have anything above and beyond to share. My art isn't that good. My video skills aren't that good. But here's the solution. First of all, you don't have to make viral videos. You don't have to make super unique videos. You don't have to make videos that are above and beyond. You do not have to do that. That is not necessary to get eyes on your art. So what I have for you is a list of video ideas that are quick, simple, and you can use them over and over again, and they work. Idea number one is to simply share a story about your art. And for example, you could just say, when I was a kid, I went through blank and I turned it into this drawing. Or a few days ago, I experienced blank and it made me want to paint this. Something as simple as that can get someone interested in learning about your art and watching you create it, and maybe they have the same experience and it builds a connection with your art. Idea number two, and people probably aren't going to agree with this, but when I started doing it, it helped me so much. It helped grow my page. And what I started doing was I jumped on a trend. So you know when you're scrolling on Instagram or TikTok and you're scrolling and you start coming across videos that kind of have like the same idea behind it and they use the same audio, you're going to want to copy that, but put your own little twist on it. I've done this twice and they got like 50,000 views, which I've never been able to achieve before. And I know a lot of people feel kind of crummy about like, oh, well, that's inauthentic and yada yada. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. Just do a quick little trend. It works. It's fun. It's cool. It's not that deep. Just do it. So the third video idea that you're going to want to try posting is just the art itself. So take a really nice, like almost like a product video, like holding like a sculpture in the sunlight, or putting your painting on the easel and like in front of a window, so it just looks really aesthetic and nice. And literally the caption is just, I made this. I created this. I painted this. Literally just let the art speak for itself. You don't even have to put any like bells and whistles on it. Just do that, and those videos also work really well and it looks really good on your feed. Also, some side notes, when you start getting used to making videos and just like pumping out videos, you start to come up with creative ideas and you'll make your own video that is so creative that people are going to want to copy it and it becomes a trend. So there you go. Now you have this short little simple list that can generate so many different ideas. So make sure you write that down, because now you're not going to have to sit there and struggle to think of ideas, and you just have the list that you can refer to, which ultimately is going to give you more time to focus on your art. So the second problem you're probably running into is you're creating videos on a whim. And what I mean by this is you're probably sitting there and you're like, oh, fuck, I gotta make a video. So you take your phone out and you're just like, ugh, I don't even know what to do. You try to think of an idea like right off the top of your head. And ultimately, that's going to cause you to feel rushed, and you're not going to have enough thought to put behind it because you're literally just doing it on a whim. You're doing it for the sake of posting, and you should never do that. You should never post just for the sake of posting. There should always be a purpose behind each post, which, referring back to that little list, there's a purpose to every single one of those ideas. So make sure you're not just taking your phone out and just like posting on a whim, and here's what you should do instead. All you have to do is pick 1 or 2 days during your week specifically for recording your content. This is called batch recording, and this really comes in handy, and the reason why it works so well is because since you have such a dedicated day to just recording, there's more thought behind it. You spend more time on it. It's more meaningful. It's more put together. And if you get it all done in one day, you don't have to do it every single day of the week when you're trying to make your art. You can just sit there and make your art and not be like, oh shit, I haven't posted today. I need to stop my art and focus on making this video. No, you don't have to do that because you already have a whole batch of videos ready to go. Which leads me into my next problem, which is you are not implementing the fact that you can schedule your content. So this is still kind of running off of the problem we just talked about, and that's when you're like constantly having to pause what you're doing during the week to make a video and then post the video, and that's like writing the caption and throwing filters on, or maybe finishing up some editing, or doing the hashtags. That takes time, and if you're gonna stop doing your art to do that, you are like literally screwing yourself. You need uninterrupted time to do your art, and that includes not taking time away from your art to post your posts. So what you need to do is take a couple of hours, and you're gonna schedule every single post for like the next 2 weeks. And now guess what? Everything is automated, and you don't have to break the flow of when you're making your art to stop and post something. You never ever want to sacrifice your flow. Your flow is sacred, and if you have to stop your flow to post a video, do you know how long it takes to get back into your flow? Once you get distracted by something out of your flow, it takes like 15 to 20 minutes to get back into your flow. Literally just from having to stop and post a video. So make sure you are scheduling your content. All right. So number 1, you have your list of ideas. Number 2, you're recording all your videos and editing all your videos on one day. Number 3, on another day, the next day probably, you're taking time to schedule out all of your content. And then guess what? All the other days, uninterrupted art time. It's not about hustling harder. It's not about being a full-time content creator just so you could be an artist. You are an artist, and making content and videos is just something you do on the side to help get eyes on your work. It's not like an actual title that you need to assume just because you want to be an artist. You do not have to be a full-time content creator just because you want to be an artist. You can be an artist and just make videos on the side. That's how I treat it. I don't treat it like it's this big, huge hat that I have to wear, this big, huge job that I have to assume. I just consider myself an artist, and something that is a part of me being an artist is that I spend a little bit of time making videos on the side for my art for social media, and that's how I like it. Ever since I started treating it this way, my art has like unfolded. I have so much more time for art. I'm able to produce so much more art because I'm not freaking out about the whole content creation side of things. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. I hope you found some of this helpful. If you did, make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this, and I'll see you next time.